Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. You are listening to Saving the Investor radio show. There is a lot going on, so we're going to dive into details. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional here in Southwest Florida with Pastor John Antonucci, and we have a great show. Like we said, we have the government finally reopened, so we're going to talk a little bit about that and what that means to your really portfolio and your money. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Southwest Florida. Coming out of this little cold snap, coming out of the government shutdown, and whether you're planning your legacy or preparing for your next phase of life here in beautiful Southwest Florida, Alfie's here to prep you every step of the way. So you want to grab a pen and paper or just lean in and listen, because today's show is packed with a lot of information. And before we start, we do have a gift for our high net worth listeners. Alfie's Toolkit is designed exclusively for affluent retirees and those of you that are soon to be retired. Inside this toolkit, you're going to find guides that will guide you on tax reduction, estate planning, large IRA strategies, charitable giving, and so much more. But listen, he only has 9 copies of this toolkit available for the first 9 people today. You want to pick up your smart device and text the word KIT. Do it right now. Pick up your phone and text the word KIT to 239-747-1077. Again, that's KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, you want to start off, obviously, with the shutdown that is finally over after 42 days. What does it mean for investors right now, and how long are the ripple effects from it going to affect us in the markets?
Well, you can see what happened Thursday with the market. The markets were down, even though they were President Trump signed the deal on Wednesday night. You would think the market would be up, but unfortunately there is a lot of ripple effect. 42 days close, people not getting paid, and then really you couldn't take statistics what was happening. But this, I was just reading, John, where it could be $11 billion affected, for next year's GDP of money that is going into the economy. $11 billion, that's a lot of money. So we have to be a little concerned about that. We have to be, that's why the markets had a setback on Thursday. But, with that being said, now, our rate's going to be cut. It was like up at 92% that rates were going to be cut in December, and now it's 50-50. So, markets, what we have always talked about it, markets don't like uncertainty, and that's exactly what we're dealing with this past week or so, really past 42 days with the government shutdown. But the good news is typically 82% of the time after the markets, after the government reopens, the markets do very well, a year following. So this is short term. We'll look at it as short term, but it is a great time to really get a portfolio review, an income review, a total review of everything that is going on. When it comes to retirement, you want to make sure you're sitting in the right places to really capitalize on opportunities. So John's going to give you an opportunity to text some words to really get some additional information, to really have a 15-minute phone call and come in, and you don't even have to come in, just a 15-minute phone call to see if you're set up for the right opportunity.
Yeah, with all that's going on with the remaining month and a half left in this year, you want to be positioned for 2026. And you hear Alfie talk about this every single week. He talks about clarity, confidence, taking control of your future. And listen, it all starts with one very simple step. Take 15 minutes of your time to talk with our team. It's no pressure, no pitch, just a fresh perspective to see if we're a good fit for you. And maybe you have some questions that you have on your mind. Maybe there's something keeping you up at night. Maybe you see the markets sort of shifting right now. It's so easy to talk with one of Alfie's trusted advisors. Alfie's been in this business for 40 years as a certified financial planner professional. He's also a fiduciary, which means he's going to give you the best opportunity for your future and your custom-made tailor plan. Listen, pick up your smart device advice right now, don't hesitate. Text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. That's going to take you to a landing page, and you'll be able to see a calendar, and you'll be able to book a 15-minute call with one of Alfie's trusted advisors here. Pick up your smart device right now. Text the number 15 to 239-747-1077. Alfie, as you said, the government shutdown now has come to an end, but we're going to see ripple effects going into probably early 2026. What are some big takeaways, for people that are invested in the market that do see some volatility? What should they be thinking? A lot of people begin to pull out, but that's really the wrong choice, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to have volatility, and there's opportunity in volatility. We always talk about having an income plan is one of the most important things, because if you have an income plan, then the volatility in the market is not the end of the world. As long as you have your income coming in, then you have time to wait for the market to rebound and do its thing. So what we do is we put an income plan together for you to get that income, making sure that income is driven for you. And then on the other hand, then your other monies is invested for growth, the defied inflation. Now, inflation has cooled down a little bit. Yeah, obviously, when the government's closed down, not as many people spending, so that makes sense to have inflation cool down a little bit. But what's now that people are going to get back pay, that's going to take some time. It's just a matter of really getting everything. It's just like Duffy was talking about, Secretary Duffy was talking about, Sean Duffy, about the air traffic controllers. It's not so easy to get these airlines up and running again, where they're still at like 6% capacity, less 6%. Air traffic controllers are going to work because they were so inundated with working overtime, people calling in sick, and people it's just now you're going to see the airline start to come back, but that's going to take a little bit of time.
And Thanksgiving next week,
you got
a week or two.
You got Thanksgiving in a couple of weeks. Thank goodness it came back before then. I don't think anybody would have wanted to get on a plane at that time. Right. So it's just a lot going on. So what you have to do is just take everything in consideration. But this is a time to, like we talked about, make sure that you're situated properly. Make sure that you have opportunities to protection. Protection is very important. There's buffers out there that might limit what you would make on the S&P. You might only make 15% of the up of the S&P, but if it goes down, they protect the first 10%. And they have some that are protected the first 20%. So there's different ways to protect the downside of a market and still give you upside potential. So these are all things that we want to really look at and make sure that you are positioned to not take a big hit if the market keeps going down, or if the market has a nice upturn, then you want to be able to make that return as the market's going up. So you don't want to sit on the sideline. Like John said, the last thing you want to do is sit on the sideline and say, I'm going to wait for things. What are you waiting for? We don't know. We hear some good news, the market goes up. So you want to be in the market, but you want to have some protection in the market.
Yeah, well, if you've been thinking it's time to get a fresh perspective of where you stand financially, let's start with this simple 15-minute call. Listen, it's quick, it's personal, and it's designed to help you see if we're the right fit for each other. Before you make any big decisions, why don't you start with a 15-minute phone call with one of Alfie's trusted advisors here at the Advantage Retirement Group. All you have to do is pick up your smart device and text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Again, text that number 15 to 239-747-1077. Jot it down. Text the number 15 to 239-747-1077. You also can go to savingtheinvestor.com. Alfie has a wealth of information on his website, great information that will help you navigate the fog of investing. Also, you can go to his YouTube channel. Saving the Investor YouTube channel, where you can watch any of these topics that we talk about or address on the broadcast. But the best thing that you can do right now, if you're standing on the sideline, maybe you have some money in CDs that are really dropping now because the interest rates are coming down. You want to be positioned for 2026 and really have your portfolio moving in the right direction, in an upward direction. Text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Again, text that number 15 for a 15-minute phone call, 239-747-1077. We're going to be right back right after this break, so please don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner Alfie Townsend. You know, Alfie has 40 years experience as a CFP, but he's also a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, not to any products or services that he offers here through the Advantage Retirement Group. And if you want to take a deeper dive into retirement strategies that Alfie talks about each week, we've got something extra special for you today. Alfie's making 10 complimentary copies of his book, Making Waves in Retirement, available to our listeners. It's your roadmap to a fulfilling retirement, packed with valuable insights and real-life stories from investors Alfie has helped save over his 40-year career from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. That's why he named this broadcast Saving the Investor, to save you from that. But listen, we only have 10 copies today. If you haven't picked it up yet, what are you waiting for? It's so simple to claim your free book. Text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Again, and that's text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077 to claim yours today. Well, Alfie, the CPI report came out. I think you want to talk about that a little deeper. I do see at Costco my ribeye steaks going down a little bit. They dropped under the $17 mark. Yeah. In the 16 range, so it is making the right direction. So we are moving back towards, because eggs are down, a lot of things are down, gas is down. A lot of good news out there, isn't it?
Yeah, there's good news, but it's like if you go to Vegas and it hurts more losing, you feel worse losing than you do winning. And it's the same thing here. What the media is going to do is talk about things that are still up. But like you said, gas was at $4, now it's $2 and change per gallon. So things are moving down, but he's only been in office for a year. It's going to take, it's going to take time to really clean up a mess that's been 4 years of disaster. The last 4 years was during Biden's time. It was, the markets were doing good. I will say that. But the spending that was going on, again, inflation was at 9%. It was just ridiculous how high everything was. And so it takes time to get that down. So it doesn't get fixed overnight. But, when you're looking at going into next year, you have really, that's when the Trump tax cut, one big beautiful bill is going to take effect. That's when people are going to have extra money when they're doing their taxes. They're going to get some refunds. They're going to be able to do some deductions that they weren't able to do. They're going to their tax rate might go down a little bit from the deduction. So things are going to get better. And then you do have a lot of companies that are spending a lot of money here in the United States. Now, we talked about it off air. I am concerned with the Supreme Court, with these tariffs.
Right.
And President Trump said if they have to give back $3 trillion, that's a lot of money to give back. $3 trillion is
you would add it to our deficit probably.
It would be
crazy,
horrendous to have to get that back. But then on the other hand, one of the things that could help is I think he has more avenues to go other than with the Supreme Court if they don't rule in his favor. And it doesn't look like it's favorable that it's going to be, even with the conservative justices, it doesn't look like it's favorable that Supreme Court is going to say it's that Trump can do these tariffs, and it looks like it's more against him than for him. So
right.
We'll have to just wait and see. But, again, if that happens, you're going to see some volatility in the market there. You're going to see volatility there. So you do have to plan. But on the good news is that, the S&P as of last Wednesday was up 16%, NASDAQ 22%, and Dow Jones a new record. Hit a new record, is up at 13%. So it was lagging behind, but it's the last few sessions. The Dow Jones has been on a nice little run, and that's because of utilities and communication services. Those are outperforming, and those are really helping. People want yield and growth, and so that's what they're going into utilities. Remember, with AI, you have a lot of energy companies that are, if you're, nuclear, you have to have energy,
right.
Tons of energy to run AI, and that's where so your energy sectors are going to probably start doing good. So these are things that we look at. These are things that our managers are looking at, different sectors that will rotate into what are, if it's communication, if it's utility, if it's technology, maybe take some out of technology, put in utility. So these are things that we do with our clients' portfolios. So these, it's not just, set it and leave it and don't touch it. It's set it and make changes to it. These managers will make changes inside the accounts. They are going to look and see what sectors they feel are going to be the sectors that they need to have more weight in them, and that makes sense. If you have more weight in something that is on the way up, then you're going to make more money. And that's how you beat the S&P. That's how you beat the NASDAQ. So these are really strategies that we use here at the Advanced Retirement Group. But overall, healthcare is lagging a little bit. Staples lag. So with that, you want to just make sure, like I said, the Dow, hit a new level, 48,000.
It's unreal. Do you feel like investors are getting a little spoiled? I mean, when you spew these numbers out, 16%, 22%, 14%.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always told if you made between 7 and 8, 9%, you're doing good. I mean, investors are making a lot of money right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and they like to get used to it. And I tell people, hey, it's good to get used to it, but you got to take the good with the bad, because in order to get new records, you do go down to go back up. So, and it's good for the market to weed out some of these companies that aren't good. So when the markets do go down, it does weed out some of the companies that are laggers, so they can get out of the S&P, out of the NASDAQ. Again, 48,000 points is it closed last week, first time ever above 48. But I remember Warren Buffett was talking about when it was at 18,000, when he was saying, hey, it hit 50,000 points, and sure enough, we're right around that 50,000 mark. So, but don't get don't get complacent. You have to make sure that you take advantage of opportunities and you protect. You need to protect. So yes, with that, sectors leading some of the move are your financials, industrials, and select some consumer names too. But technology stocks are lagging a little bit. And the reason why they're lagging a little bit, all of a sudden, Wall Street's saying, the valuations are too high. But on the other hand, tech stocks are going to work a little bit different because they're investing. They have to invest to grow. They have to invest in energy like Meta is, and that's what they're concerned about, is like Google and all these big tech companies are investing billions upon billions of dollars. I mean, in the hundreds of billions of dollars in energy to run the AI. And it takes a lot, to run this. So if they're not putting in money, they're lagging, and they have to stay. I think what they're looking at, they have to stay ahead of China.
Definitely, and that's the fight right now.
That's the fight right now, and it's a fight against who wins, who gets to the top first will have a big advantage. So if you're not spending money right now, and if you're not spending money, then what happens? And then China keeps spending money. You're going to be lagging, and then once they get to the top there, then it's going to be real hard to catch up. So it's almost like a horse race right now. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But John, tell people how they can really make sure that, let's talk about income planning. The 15% that we have 15% income producing, and we have the 8%, two different type of investments. But these are investments, are a 1-year investment, one's a 2-year investment. But if you're looking for income, we can give you the income and then invest your portfolio, because you don't need as much money if you're getting 3 times what you're currently getting for income. So think about that. If you're getting 3 times what you're getting for income right now, then that leaves you more money to invest. If that sounds appealing to you and want to know more information, John's going to let you know how.
Yeah, a lot of great products and services that Alfie offers here through the Advantage Retirement Group, but he's also a fiduciary, which means he's going to put you in the best opportunities for your income strategy. And listen, he's built his firm on relationships over 40 years, not transactions. That's why he starts with a simple 15-minute phone call. It's a chance to connect, ask some questions, and see if there's a spark before you take the next step together. Listen, let's start that conversation. Pick up your smart device right now. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till we go off the air. Text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Going to take you to a landing page. You're going to see a calendar. You're going to be able to book a 15-minute phone call around your schedule. Talk with one of Alfie's trusted advisors and see if we're a fit for you. It's very simple. All you have to do is pick up your smart device, text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077, and talk to one of Alfie's trusted advisors today. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor, the radio show that helps protect, grow, and preserve your wealth so that you can live the retirement you've always imagined. Listen, before we jump back in, I want to remind our listeners that you can get a complimentary copy of Alfie Townsend's book, Making Waves in Retirement. It's filled with inspiring and real-life stories of people who face the same financial questions you might be asking today and how they found confidence and clarity through planning. Listen, we only have 9 copies available for our listeners today, so get your copy. All you have to do is text the word WAVES, WAVES, to 239-747-1077. Again, that's WAVES, WAVES, to 239-747-1077. 1077. Listen, on this show, we talk a lot about investing, how to plan for income, reduce your taxes, and build a legacy that lasts. But one of the greatest investments we can ever make isn't in the markets, it's in people, especially in the next generation. And Alfie today has 2 incredible guests who are shaping tomorrow's leaders. Alfie, I know you work with them a lot down in Estero High School. What's going on with when you go down there? And these 2 incredible people, the principal is here, and also one of the teachers are here today to talk about that.
Yes, we have Kevin Schell and Jen Seluk, and she's a principal. Kevin's a teacher, and we've been working with them for a few years right now. And you've seen us on our TV show with the Wolf Den. That was something that it's like the Shark Tank, where the kids.
That's where it all got started.
That's where it all got started, and Bill Dobbin, a good friend of ours, he's the one that really introduced me to really helping the kids, and that's what we love to do, help the kids. This is the next generation that's going to be paying your Social Security, and so you better take care of them. So we're going to really I'm going to introduce Kevin to start with. So Kevin Schell is a good friend of mine. He's an incredible teacher over at Estero High School, and I just saw a video of you, Kevin, on Facebook, and you were talking about $2 bottle of water, $4 bottle of water, and a $7 bottle of water, and I thought that was great. Your analogy of that, and I'll let you talk a little bit about that, but more importantly, talk a little bit about the school, what you're doing, and then I know Jen, the principal, is a big part of the success that you're having at that school. So welcome to the show.
Well, first of all, thanks for having us on, and really glad to be part of this today with you, and thank you for all you do for education, Alfie. It's we as teachers, I really believe one of my main mantras is to partner up with business people. And I believe that's when the magic in the classroom can occur. When we can take some of our dreams that we can't fund normally, and we can go to you business people and basically share some of these dreams and make that, and you guys make that come true. So through the years, I really believe that you have made a lot of those dreams happen for us, and we thank you for that, Alfie. But I am a teacher at Estero High School, and I like to think it's one of the best schools that a child or a student could ever go to. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a teacher there, but just some of the things I've witnessed and some of Ms. Seluk's leadership moves and some of the things that she's brought to the school is just phenomenal. And I teach in the Entrepreneurship Academy, and it's brand new to that school right now. And it's basically a hands-on class teaching the kids everything from the marketing to the pitch to everything that goes into starting a business. And we try to make it interactive, and we try to make it enticing for kids to learn and have fun in.
And you do a great job, and the kids are really inspired. So let's bring Jen on a little bit here. She's a principal. She's a rock star, and we want to really, what you've really been a principal at Estero for 2 years now?
Yes, sir. This is my second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
So was it everything you thought it was going to be?
So much more. Oh, so much more.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
And
leading a community.
Yes,
It's a
it is.
community.
How many students are in the
1,600.
1,600?
That's a big school,
That's a
yeah.
big school.
It
So
is.
16,
Continuing to grow.
yes. And how long's it been there?
So 1987.
Okay.
Established in 1987, and in the last 2 years, with all of the actual development within Estero, we've grown over 250 students in the last
Whoa,
2 years.
That's
so
a lot.
we're
Con-
continuing to grow
Yeah,
and expand.
that's more than 10%. That's big.
Mhm.
So tell a little bit about your journey on. You were a teacher first, and then tell a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my journey in education, I'm a product of Lee County Schools, a very proud product, to be honest. Graduate of Cypress Lake High School in 1999. Went on to...
2 Panthers in the house, by the way.
Yes, another grad. Yeah, that's right. Went on to Florida State University, came back with an elementary ed degree, entered an elementary school in San Carlos, so right around that Estero vicinity. And then I moved on to Estero High School, where I spent 13 years there, from teaching intensive reading, testing coordinator, reading coach, and then moved into administration. And I was an administrator for 3 years there. With that said, I needed to grow and expand my leadership and future goals of principalship. So I moved on to San Carlos again, where I was an assistant principal at an elementary school for 2 years, and then moved on where I met Kevin and worked at South Fort Myers High School for 4, and then came back to Estero. My heartstrings were pulling at me, and I went back to Estero as an assistant principal, and then moved on to principalship last year. So quite the journey in leadership.
Yes.
12 years of administrative leadership.
Now, how's it changed with students? When you were a teacher,
Sure.
and with technology the way it is, with the phones. We didn't have mobile phones in high school
So challenging.
or junior high or any of them, and so how's that changed?
So it's changed a lot. And I honestly think that it's our seniors that struggle the most. They really struggle to disconnect. But this year, with the state mandate of no cell phones in schools, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., is a real challenge. Our freshmen are doing very well, disconnecting, and our sophomores are doing very well. Our juniors, from time to time, if they really stress about work schedules and other things, they want to be able to check their phone if they have an update and they have to report and take a shift for work. I see that with seniors as well.
Okay.
For the most part, the little distractions, though, that occur now that we've removed cell phones, we see a lot more socialization. So I'm seeing a lot more students socialize in
Yeah,
conversation.
that's what it brings. It makes you talk.
Yes, it does. It brings those
They're not used
those
to it.
interpersonal skills, which is so great, and how we grow them into adults, ready for
Yes.
the real world.
No, I love it, because if texting, when texting first came out, I was thinking, this is so stupid. Who's going to text? You just call,
Yeah.
But texting is really and you can get in trouble texting.
Absolutely.
I know I've gotten in trouble texting. No, I didn't mean to say that the way it sounded, but the phone is a big thing. So you also have the class that Kevin teaches. I think is a wonderful, wonderful class. You're really teaching these kids about, starting a business. You're teaching them, like you said, Kevin, how to market, how to, get a job. And I've spoken to your students a few times, and it really, it makes me feel better than it does them, because I just enjoy it so much. And they're sharp kids. These are some sharp kids that you have, and they're so intelligent, and they're so ahead, and they know what they want to be already.
Absolutely.
I didn't know what I wanted to be. That's the thing. So, but that gives them guidance, and that's what the kids need right now, is guidance. And so I'm happy about that. And Jen, there was you were talking a little bit about, a lot of kids, when they leave high school, they don't even have a checking account. They don't know what brokerage account is. They don't know a lot about finances, but something just happened recently, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say there is a hidden curriculum that's been missing, and a lack of money management. So there's a new state mandate that we've incorporated financial literacy for a semester, and as well as math for data. And so really understanding the course requirements and expectations. It starts with the class of 2027. So our current juniors are taking it now to Estero High School.
Okay.
And just bringing in the real world effect of understanding how to write a check, understanding how to balance, your checking account, if you have a savings account, money management, a stockbroker, like there's all sorts of things, loans, mortgage. The course is curriculum rich for students and getting them ready for me in the real world. Really,
I love it.
It's the most powerful curriculum that we really need our students that are getting ready to go into the real world to actually know what to do if you work a position and you get a check.
Sure.
What do you do with that check?
Right.
It's not as easy as my credit card is linked to my cell phone and I just go up and swipe and it dings. Well, what's the balance of that? And when do you need to pay for that? And you need to make sure you pay it in full. Pay it down, pay it in full, and make sure that you are managing.
Don't pay
your
that
money.
high interest rate.
Exactly right. So all of that comes along with the course, and again, all of our juniors are taking it, and it will continue year to year as it's a state mandate and required.
Are other states doing this, or is this something that?
This is specifically Florida.
Okay, but it might be a landmark thing for other states, because this is something I think no one, they're clueless about really what to do with checks, and
absolutely,
and what is a check. They don't even know what a check is. So you are listening to Saving the Investor, and we're going to be right back, but John will give you a message here.
Yeah, listen, if you want value, clarity, and want to know what's working with a dedicated financial team is all about, start with a 15-minute phone call. It's very easy to get a hold of Alfie and his team, and it's going to give you a fresh perspective and a clear sense of whether their approach aligns with your vision. Here's how to do it. All you have to do is pick up your smart device, text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. You'll talk to one of Alfie's trusted advisors. And listen, you can ask some questions. Maybe there's something keeping you up at night. Maybe the market is moving in a direction that your portfolio is not going. Listen, pick up the phone right now. Don't hesitate. Don't procrastinate. Text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. 1077. We're going to be right back with Kevin and Jen right after this break, so don't go away.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida Certified Financial Planner Professional, and like I hope you were hearing the last segment, we have Jen Seluk, and she is the principal of Estero High School, along with Kevin Schell, a good friend of mine that is a teacher there, and he does, both of them do some amazing things, and we like to give back to the community, and one of the things that we do is really give back to the students. We will I love their entrepreneurship that they have. They have these programs. I want to know this year, what's new at your school that you're doing for these kids?
Well, the first thing that's really incredible, Alfie, is that when the students take my class, they will be receiving 6 credits from FGCU. So the class is tied together. They supply the curriculum, and we basically just teach that curriculum that FGCU offers for their normal students. But our kids are getting it in high school. So they're gonna receive their 6 credits for taking my class for the whole year and be walking into college with these 6 credits. Also, this dual enrollment credit, which a lot of kids love it because they're saving money, and also they're really finding out on a basically a higher level. It's basically entrepreneurship on steroids. So they're really getting immersed in every aspect of entrepreneurship through the FGCU class, and then we sprinkle a couple really neat events along the way for these kids to partake in.
Talk a little bit about the wolf den that we put together a few years ago.
Well, as you know, our relationship pretty much started with that at South, and Jen was part of that too. I remember her being in the room and helping some of the kids prior to the pitch. But and as you know, we took that wolf den and we kind of morphed it into the Elite 8 last year that you were part of, and so intricate is we took 8 of the greatest, I guess, businessmen and leaders in our area, and we brought them to one.
Women too.
Women too, exactly. The women are very important, and we brought them into our. And we're sitting next to a dynamic
they're
woman.
running your school, Kevin.
Absolutely, I love the women. Women are very important.
I know you do.
So, and I know you too. So, thanks to Tommy. But no, but I tell you, I really, these events that we put on really bring home our curriculum. And like I say, the Elite 8 is something we've kind of morphed into, and I know he will never ask for any credit, the listeners out there, but Alfie is one of the most giving men I have ever dealt with business-wise. And I know, Alfie, you probably don't even want me to say anything, but Alfie, we took 55 students to Miami to go see the Dolphins game and get a behind-the-scenes look at the careers that exist at NFL stadiums. And John, I was telling Alfie a story about somebody I thought might step up and maybe come up with helping us out with the bus because the tickets were so expensive. And I didn't even tell Alfie with that, like I'm looking for something from Alfie. And he says, look, let me talk to Tommy, and thank goodness we have Tommy in his life, but also Alfie. He stepped up and he paid for the whole entire
awesome.
bus
Isn't
for
that
the kids
great?
to go.
Yeah.
So he changed the life, and not only that, John, he paid for 2 kids to go to that event that couldn't afford it. Because a lot of times people really feel that these kids can afford this stuff, and all parents can't. But so for a lot of people out there, it's tough times, and you always are right there side by side with us, stepping up for education. And from a teacher's perspective, these events and these things that we can take the kids on make teaching a lot more fun, and I think it makes it a lot more fun and interesting for our students. Memorable moments is what it's all about. And because when I think back to my high school, John, I don't know about you, but
I was just trying to
education.
get out,
Yes, me too, sir. And that is one of the reasons I went into education, because I wanted to electrify the classroom. I wanted to bring some fun to it, and 33 years later, I'm still doing it. And but I tell you, it's been a great journey, and working for a lady like this it makes it even more special, because I always tell my kids I'm going to stop talking because I talk too much sometimes. But
You're good.
I always tell my kids to finish strong. And when Ms. Seluk got the position as principal, and I knew I had to work for her. And I've worked for some great principals in the past, but when I saw what some of her plans were and some of the things that she brought to Estero, and she probably can speak to some of the other academies, I just knew I wanted to be a part of it, and again, finish strong my career, because I got like 2 or 3 years left. And then John and I are going into business, or we're going to do something, or I'm going to be on the boat with you.
Oh, there you go. So, Jen, tell a little bit about what your role is, with this academy. I know you're the principal of the whole school, so you oversee everything. But this is something close to your heart, because your sons are in this. You have triplets.
We do.
and Parker was here. One of them wants to be in finance, right?
Absolutely,
And so Parker
yes.
was here at our office, and they're all intelligent to the hilt. And I remember I said, "Are you like the smartest of your brothers?" And he says, "No." He goes, "No." His one brother, Ryder, is the smartest one.
Very
He's the one
humbling.
that wants to be the doctor, right?
Yep.
Amazing.
Yes,
You
and then
have
one's
great kids, and
entering
you have a
the
daughter.
Navy. I have a daughter. One's entering the Navy, so having many different children within the school, it can be challenging at times. I'm sure. Sometimes they're proud of their mom, and sometimes I'm sure they're like, "That's my
By the
mom."
way, send them a shout out. Her children just finished third in the state in swimming. So go ahead.
Oh,
They did,
really?
Wow.
They
Really?
did. We just got
State
back from the
tournament.
state swim meet. Yeah.
You were a
so
swimmer too, right?
I was, yes, sir.
Okay.
I did. I swam
state
at
Yeah,
Florida
Yes, sir.
State.
You're making me know.
State
Please don't
champion.
say sir.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
old
gosh.
enough.
Make him feel like he's in his 60s.
I just got my hair. I just got my hair done yesterday. I'm trying to look
I wish I
younger.
could get my hair done, but I can't.
Oh my gosh. Yes, so we did. You guys are too much. We traveled to the state meet and they did fantastic representing Estero High School. The boys actually ended up 6th in the 400 free relay and they all made the medal stand.
I mean,
yes,
they're all swimmers.
they're all
Fantastic, yeah.
swimmers. They're all
Is your daughter a swimmer?
yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir, again.
So, so she actually placed 3rd at state as a sophomore in high school
Oh,
in the
man.
500 freestyle, and I'm just really proud of the work that they do. It's not the work that we showcase when you go and perform, right? Performing is half
Right.
the battle and the confidence. You've done the work. The work happens every day that you don't see the work in the weight room, waking up in the morning, swimming mornings before school, swimming afternoons for 2 hours, and that's that commitment and sacrifice.
That's what people see. They see the
Habits.
success.
Right.
They only see the success, but
The
oh, they're
work.
lucky. But the harder you work, the luckier you seem to get. Isn't
Absolutely.
that the truth? So
Yep.
people don't see that, and that's in business also. People, you have
Hours.
the hours. I remember just driving, 70 to 80,000 miles a year.
Wow.
I did that for years. To go to people's houses. It was just that. But
Sacrifice and commitment.
sacrifice. So listen, it's awesome to have you guys here in studio, live in studio, and I'm just so proud to be a part of your school, and anything we can do to help, we're here for you, and we're just we are definitely committed to what you guys are committed to, because it's the real deal. So
It
I'm
is.
proud
So
of
your
you.
mentorship means a lot. Thank you for making that commitment and investing in our students.
No problem.
Not
Very
only ours,
easy.
it's Lee County in general.
Yeah.
And I don't think you realize the magnitude that you have, even mentoring a group within entrepreneurship. It means so much to us.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here today. Well, Alfie's built his firm on relationships, not transactions. That's why he likes to start with a simple 15-minute phone call. It's a chance to connect and ask some questions and see if we're a right fit for you and you're a right fit for him. All you have to do to get together is start that conversation is text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Do it before we go off the air. Text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077.
Yeah, and again, we like to do these shows to, majority of the time we're talking about finances, but we do love to have special guests like you two on, and to really talk about, giving back to the community. If you're not giving back, you should be. But anyway, I don't know if you've ever watched our TV show called Saving the Investor. It's on NBC right after Meet the Press. So Meet the Press, we're on right after 11 to 11:30, and of course right here on 92.5 for the last, I guess, 14, 15 years it seems like. And Jake the Millennial helping us out. So until next week, I hope everybody has a fantastic week and enjoy this beautiful weather. Be blessed.